Your sunshine destination for a Friday night is Leigh Sports Village. It is absolutely glorious here tonight. One of the best nights weather-wise we've had in this Betfred Super League season. And this could be a heck of a game as well. Leigh on the back of two unbeaten matches now, a draw last week and a victory against Catalan a couple of weeks ago against a Salford side who've won 7 out of 10 and are one of the front runners for those playoff places, and who knows, even top spot before the end of the season. We're looking forward to this, we really are. This is the table as it stands. As you can see, Leigh, just a bit of a gap now between them and that 6th spot, which Salford currently occupy. So they do have to put a run of wins together if they are going to trouble the playoffs. But Salford Red Devils 1 win away, and if they win here tonight, then they will be joint top of the table, albeit behind Warrington on points difference. So all to play for here tonight. Remember, we've had one game already so far. This is the reason why Warrington are top. 20 points to 8 winners against Hull Kingston Rovers last night. Hard fought, but they got through that. Castleford against St Helens, the other game this evening. Huddersfield against Wigan and Catalan against Leeds are two prime fixtures to look ahead for tomorrow as well. The first one at 3 o'clock kickoff, I should say, and Catalan Leeds 5:30. Both of those on Sky Sports Arena. And then on Sunday, two clubs desperate to win to get them away from that bottom end of the table. London against Hull. Sky Sports action, 3 o'clock is when that kicks off. Well, this is the way they are lining up tonight. Leigh have got Robbie Mulhern and Ed Chamberlain back. Mulhern immediately comes back into the starting lineup, the front row for Leigh tonight. Ed Chamberlain, who's been away on loan at Hull for the last couple of weeks, he returns on the bench tonight. But some big names missing: John Asiata, Gareth O'Brien, Ben Nakabuwai, amongst those who are missing. Salford Red Devils, they've got a few out as well. Mello, Shorrocks, Wright, Dodson, Dixon, Noah Palomu, all out. But they do have Amir Burrow back from an ankle injury and King Vuniyayawa back from concussion protocols. Both of those on the bench to start with today. And Cade Cust is the hooker. A little bit of a jump in the commentary box because suddenly the fireworks were going off. Barry McDermott, hopefully you are still with us. What are we looking forward to tonight?
You jump, not me, Dave. No, we're in for an absolute cracker tonight. It could be anything, couldn't it? It could be chaotic, or it could be a classic. I thought I'd look at the Cummel connection. Both players in sensational form. Edwin Ipape returned to a man-of-the-match performance last week, and he's in an impressive front row. Tom Amon and Robbie Mulhern, as you mentioned, coming back. What form Nene McDonald is in. Leads the Super League in offloads. He's a dynamic runner and scored a couple of excellent tries to help his side to victory last week.
Well, the atmosphere's been building for quite a while here, and it's reaching a crescendo right now. The sun is hanging like a furnace over the main stand at the moment, blinding us here with its gloriousness. But we can, through the mists and that sunshine, see the two sides as they take their field here tonight. And as ever, just a cracking atmosphere inside the Leigh Sports Village.
Great build-up, wasn't it? We had a fantastic band. Both of us were singing away, weren't we, Dave? But it's outstanding conditions, and it's perfect conditions for a game of Open Rugby League. I'm looking forward to what should be an attacking game. Both teams enjoy the attacking part of the game. I feel the one that controls the ruck speed and defends with an attitude, and a different attitude than they usually approach a game with. I think they'll get the victory here tonight.
Is it too late for Leigh to put a run together? The mathematics would suggest it's highly unlikely, but I guess if it isn't, it has to start tonight.
Listen, at this stage, I've probably got a little bit more faith in Salford. They're part of that cluster of teams at the top. But as we know, in a Super League season, every team will have a flat patch. Every team will have a surge and pick up a run of victories. So what are we, a third of the way through? I don't think we can pin our colours on too many teams.
The Hooterwucks, round 11 of the Betfred Super League here tonight, getting underway.
Got you, mate. Got
Another great weekend. The referee is there, promise you. Liam Moore is our ref, and the video referee tonight is Ben Thaler, emerging through the mist. It's like a Hollywood movie there, isn't it? The referee
for our
emerging through the mist.
It reminds me of Odsal back in the dark days. Only it was mist and murk and gloom.
Okay, time to run, boys. Time to
Well,
run.
we do know that if there's no breeze here, it takes a while for the smoke to clear. And there is no breeze, so it could be difficult viewing in the early stages, but out of the mist comes Josh Charnley with that initial take. He's a man with a mission here tonight, Josh Charnley, an ongoing mission, because he's only 2 tries away from a real landmark. 300 career tries. 298 he's on at the moment. But Leigh looking to set a platform here in the early stages to lay a mark. Oh, this is a very, very slow play the ball here. Singleton making sure that Leigh can get up and get on with it. But the referee's happy with that. Mulhern will come crashing forward. Leigh will be happy to see him back. Ipape out of dummy half. And Siata's still missing one of those, so Ipape's re-emergence last week, albeit from the bench initially, and the fact that he's starting here tonight will be another big relief for the Leigh Leopards.
Yeah, they're happy. Sorry, the referee happy with the kick pressure on Leigh when they get to the back end of the set there. Salford putting numbers into the tackle. 2, 3, 4 players trying to slow the play of the ball down.
Well, we've got a sun that's blinding us and a smoke screen that's hindering vision. It's all set up for what should be wonderful. It will get better as the night goes on. Ormond Royd is hurt here, staying down.
He's been playing well, Jack Ormond Royd, as well. We're looking forward to the front row battle. Ormond Royd Singleton against Mulhern and Ipape, but I don't know whether he's picked up a crusher. He seems to be holding the back of his neck, doesn't he? Kate Cuss just talking to the referee. He's another. I mean, Paul Roll is somewhat hamstrung with selections, but playing what is essentially a half-back in the hooking role, he's tough and nuggety, Kate Cuss, but he'll give you some craft around the play of the ball.
This we know in the past, this kind of situation often invites the video referee to have an involvement here. So we'll see if there is any further as a result of this.
Well, we can hear the video ref saying he's happy enough with it. I think it's a clumsy tackle to start the game from Owen Trout. He's a little bit high, a little bit loose, not tight in his contact, and he ends up, you know, luckily he's okay, Jack Ormond Royd.
Kicked away by Sneed with that left foot of his. And Amila Handley will catch and look to return it here. Well, Leigh fans were delighted, if that's the right word, with an absolute cliffhanger last week when their side could have won it, maybe should have won it, ended up with a share of the spoils with Castleford in that dramatic golden point. And it was a tense affair that Salford were involved in as well, because Huddersfield pushed them all the way. Salford just getting through 18-16, so they are both battle-hardened for tight contests.
Yeah, both will have come into this game with a number of elements and aspects of the game they'll want to fix up. Starts and ends with defence, even though, as we see, both sides can throw the ball about. They really test and challenge each other, but I think it's going to be a battle of defence early on in this game.
This is Amon, Tom Amon is driving his side just inside. And much further than that, this is a great metres after contact carry. 12 metres taken, even though there were 2 players right on him there. Ipape will go out quickly, but the kick is not well judged, and Briley with a simple catch.
It's brilliant work from the front row, isn't it? We talked about Mulhern returning to the side. Tom Amon, hasn't he been exceptional after that 4-game absence? You wouldn't even know that he'd had a short break there, but great stuff, and it allowed Edwin Ipape to jump out and put a speculative kick in.
This is Manny MacDonald. He's dealt with. Just had a dummy half and looking left again here. Early lead for St Helens at Castleford. They are 5 minutes ahead of us, by the way. We kicked off at 8:05. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. The charge down. Almost wrong-footed, Ryan Briley. Boy, did he have to scramble there.
6 more tackles for Salford, even though they're deep in their own half here. I talked about Nene McDonald before the game, but Tim Laffey is another impressive performer for Salford. Nene McDonald leads the charts in offloads with 22 tackle busts. Tim Laffey 84 for the season, so he's hard to handle when he's carrying the ball.
Oh, Custer's done really well there to keep that ball alive, and Singleton will come running back, and he too is mindful to offload, and Sneed with the football skills Well, his footwork was okay, but his handling in the first instance is what's let him down. That has gone forward. And a lot of untidiness there for Salford has given Leigh this position.
Yeah, it started with Brad Singleton's loose offload. He carried on from a couple of offloads before. Mark Sneyd, well, I do know he's a big Manchester United fan, and it's no wonder he plays rugby league for Salford Red Devils. With those skills.
He's one of your neighbours, isn't he, Mark Sneyd?
He's from the famous Waterhead Warriors Club, who were all down in Butlins this weekend, all the junior teams, everybody down there. Hope you have a great weekend.
So what an opportunity here for Leigh to draw first blood. St Helens winning at Castleford, but scoreless here in this game. Are we going to get our first try here tonight?
Big collision there, the two front rows, Armenrod and Mulhern.
It's Pape comes right, and Amon now will drive it again and take them ever closer. Pape's having a look round. Mulhern, I think, is eager for some more work here. Trout's close by as well, but it's going to be the drive from Mulhern, who's almost there. But Salford's defence is hanging on, rigorous at the moment. Ipape, back to Lamb. It's a slip, but picked up by Moylan. Moylan now crabbing across and seeing what's coming, and that is a pick-up from nothing from Amila Hanley, who found an angle, created an angle, held onto the pass, and what a season he's having, Amila Hanley, and it just gets better.
He needed to be brave to hit that line. I believe it's number 11 in 10 games now for the winger. Off-the-cuff play from the Leopards. All started with some damaging, punishing runs from the big men in the middle. But just the ability to offer themselves. The mistake from Salford handed the opportunity and the field position to the Leopards. But the way that the Leopards put themselves in the frame was poor skill, poor pass from Edwin Ipape, really, that allowed that bouncing ball to be picked up. But that's brilliant, isn't it, from Amila Hanley. Isn't he playing well? Had to bide his time. Tom Briscoe, of course, has gone to All FC because he can't get back in the side for that young man.
There's all kinds of stuff going on in the background at Leigh, isn't it? We know that John Asiata's at Hull next year. Rumours abound as well about other players, but they are keeping that off the field so far, it would seem. With an early try, and Moylan with a chance to add another two, which he does. And Leigh lead now by 6 points to 0 in these early stages.
Matt Moylan puts it into the path of Hanley. As I said, he had to be brave on an uncompromising line. But there will be somebody, it looks like Mark Sneyd initially didn't allow or couldn't get to Matt Moylan. Then there's a disjointed defensive line, and smart players like Moylan will capitalise on that.
So Leigh up and running, but they know that they've been in this position before a few times this year and maybe not made the most of it.
Move down! Find me.
Ipape from dummy half. Charlie plays, asking the referee about something there, but he says play on, and Leigh try to make progress, but good response from Salford's defenders. Mulhern's lining up next, you fancy, but Amon's there too. But it is going to be Mulhern who crashes and almost drags his big frame through that collective three. Ipape goes out again. This is Amon now. They're keeping it tight and they're making the meters. He's made big meters already, hasn't he, Amon?
The crowd getting on the back of the referee. They feel that Salford aren't back on side. This is 40-20 attempt, not got the angle right.
At the distance.
Kicked on 4 there, Ipape.
And here's Briley bringing it back with a bit of venom.
The forwards going through the gears, going through the tackles, eating up those meters.
Well, it's Leigh's turn to come flying out of defence to try and restrict the yardage here from Salford. Sneyd collects, backs towards the middle, and Blackfire tries to put the step on. Just comes out. Little hop and a skip, but no further than that. Taken on by Partington. Crashed to the ground. 1 play to go. Salford only just inside the Leigh half. Sneyd with a kick high. It's not been lost in the sun because that's dipped behind the stand now, but Moylan will take and chased well by those Salford defenders.
Frankie Alton was the man in the leopard shirt that got to Mark Sneyd. You can't allow Mark Sneyd time and space to put the kick in where he wants.
Move up and square.
There's Lamb taking over the duties behind the play the ball.
Free. Move. Sam, come on, get back.
Now with Pape back in the acting half role. Mulhern again. He's eager for some early work, isn't he? It's another good carry, meters after contact carry. The two props have had an excellent start here for Leigh.
Yeah, it's important they set that platform. It brings Pape into the game. They've just spilt the ball there. Tight, intricate play around the play the ball. Because some of those bigger men have done a lot of defence. I know we've only got just less than 10 minutes on the clock, but that's the target for the Leigh Leopards, around the play the ball.
Atkins just slopping into the dummy half roll here, but that's only temporary because Custy's back there now. Remember, Amir Burrows on the bench tonight. Here's Trout. Ormonroyd, who's only just troubling those Leigh defenders. Again, he's slow to his feet here. I mean, he got that early knock, and he still looks as though he might be carrying the damage from that. Jack Ormonroyd is having a look towards the bench. Meanwhile, Salford will continue.
Yeah, he's still down, Ormonroyd. I don't know whether it's a back spasm or some problem physically, or he's been rattled with that tackle.
Well, they're going left, and here's Lafay. Stops, tries to start again. Unable to do so because of the attentions of more than a couple. Hardacre amongst them. Now it's the kick. That's high. Moylan catches and advances and almost breaks that initial tackle.
1-0 to Moylan there, because what Mark Sneyd did, he only put it forward about 25-30 metres, but he put it high and he made the ball spin in the mid-air. Moylan collects the ball, and then Leigh Leopards, they get a penalty off the back of that. Excellent work from the fullback. Skill to not just catch the ball, but evade defenders off the back of it too. Well done.
Well, the penalty has given Lachlan Lamb the chance to clear the lines.
By putting that kick short, Dave, what he's doing is he's challenging Moylan to come forward to catch it, or worse, allow it to bounce.
Here's Mulhern. Just having a look down there. Is Ormonroyd still on the field? Not sure if he's disappeared. Anyway,
no, Big King's on, Dave.
Yeah. King Vuniyayawa has come on in his place. So that's an unplanned for interchange in the early stages. Salford will be hopeful that Ormonroyd recovers fully. Meantime, Leigh are in a very hopeful position here. Pape, McNamara with a short pass, looking to burst the seams of Salford's defensive line. Pape sees a chance to run. Back it comes to Moylan, who finds Lamb, and Lamb's there with a kick to the corner, and Charlie's after this. And I think Charlie's got first hands on that. That was an incredible effort. Ryan was chasing too. The referee's going to the video here. Liam Moore. And he thinks try with a naked eye as well. But what are the thoughts of the video referee?
Tackle 5, we have a live call of a try. So first of all, we need to check for the onside offside. So we're just going to pause it on the boot, and they're all onside. So we're going to go on now to the grounding. So it's all about the pickup, and we're going to take this nice and slow. This is probably the best angle that we have. The ball's in the field of play, and so is Charnley. Keeps it going. And we're just going to go back on that. The left hand is on the ball, and it stays on the ball, and the ball is grounded. Thank you. I have now made my decision.
He creeps ever closer to a little bit of history. Josh Charnley with try 299 of his career. And of course, He's not far behind Super League's leading try scorers, Danny Maguire and Ryan Hall. He's about 10 back now from Danny Maguire. You suspect he's going to get there, and with finishing like that, he's almost certainly going to get there.
Well, he's forged that instinct to know where the ball is going to be through hours and hours on the training field, and of course when he's worn the jersey, whoever he's represented, he's consistently turned up where the ball is. There was some good work from Frankie Holton at the beginning. He gave an opportunity for Edwin Apape to pick the ball up. Have a look, it was an easy pass to his half-back. Sorry, I beg your pardon, the full-back, Matt Moylan. He's wearing number 6, but he's playing full-back. And then Lamb puts it where the pigeons are. There's nobody there, there's nobody looking, there's nobody defending it. And then Josh Charnley is good enough to get that ball down. Terrific start from the home team.
Well, we've seen so many times Lamb, O'Donnell as a try-scoring combination. Is that in the back of Salford's mind in that build-up there? Do they ignore Charnley a bit, give him that little bit of extra room?
They've got to account for everything. The team that controls the chaos will come out on the right side of this. There's a good conversion as well.
Well, it's all going sweetly for Adrian Lamb's side at the moment. 2 out of 2 for Moylan. 12 points to 0. Leigh are leading now. It's a dream start from their point of view.
You're absolutely right, Dave. The options available for Moylan, and then Lamb, he puts it behind the forward, and you're right, that hard line from O'Donnell keeps the defenders in the line, but there's a short option, there's an out-the-back option, and then the kick, which was the choice, was perfect.
Well, what a difference a week makes, because this time last week, Leigh were 10-0 down against Castleford in this stadium at this stage of the game, and here they are this week 12-0 up against Salford with 13-14 minutes played. Salford looking for a response here, and the first task is to make sure Leigh don't get to the other end of the field very soon here, especially in this set. Pepe spins it back towards the middle.
Just listen to that crowd. It's one of the best places to watch your rugby league. When they're on the front foot, the Leopards, there's a real feel-good factor, and Paul Rowley will be trying to get some messages down to his side, trying to halt that momentum that they've got in the game already, the Leopards.
Cross to bring it back. Salford fans as well are playing their part tonight. I mean, they've travelled superbly well. The away end at this stadium is pretty well occupied. There's a pick-up from MacDonald to have a go. I think he was trying to get the arm free, but he couldn't. So Kuss now collects, and left they go away again. Vuniyayawa, 5 away from the halfway line. Leigh fans in excellent voice. Salford's job is to silence them here if they can. Singleton, that was a bit clumsy and a bit clunky, but from that basis, they're beginning to threaten here. There's a team that loves to play, but MacDonald, in trying to get the arms free to offload, has simply given the ball away.
A bit of justice there. I thought that pass was forward from Salford, but the tenacity on this Leigh side tonight, they forced the issue, got the ball back, and they're on the attack again.
McNamara looking on his inside where Hardacre was lurking, but having a go himself.
Hasn't he been reborn, eh? 8 games on the bum. He looks more comfortable every time he wears the shirt, and a real contributor to this Leigh side now.
Yeah, the injury to O'Brien has given him an opportunity, hasn't it, with Moylan going back to full back and McNamara slotting into the halves alongside Lamb. Leigh is beginning to cause a few flusters amongst the Salford defenders, but not on that occasion. O'Donnell was met well. Moylan puts it high. Briley's underneath it, but he'll hear the hooves thundering towards him, and he was caught with the feet off the ground. There was only a millisecond in it, but it was a clear penalty.
It's a fine art, isn't it? I nearly said a difficult skill, but the practice and the hours that they put into refining, you can see what he's trying to do, Rob Mulhern. He wants to absolutely pulverise Briley, but the skill of Briley to keep his feet in the air, knowing and inviting Rob Mulhern into the trap.
He looks like he should be driving a pickup truck in one of the southern states of the USA, Rob Mulhern, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's had a few hairstyles over his time.
He was one of their outstanding players last year, I thought. You know, a lot of headline makers elsewhere, but he was just brilliant, wasn't he?
I've known Rob Mulhern since he was a teenager. He started his career at the Rhinos, always had a good engine, always had good footwork, and of course he's got that competitive spirit that all good players have.
And people hark back to that Lachlan Lamb drop goal in the Challenge Cup final, but it was a Rob Mulhern run that set up that position, which history will not forget. It's Salford here with Lafay, and a good angle run here by Watkins. He's got Briley on his inside, but he's gone for the kick for Ryan instead, and Charlie's there just to dribble it out of play and concede the drop, but make sure he doesn't concede the try.
It's not just about scoring tries for Josh Charlie, it's about saving them. A dead set foot race with Ethan Ryan, who's been in terrific form over the last couple of weeks. A nice speculative pass, whether that was a line ball or forward or not, but Callum Watkins doesn't wait for the whistle, puts a beautifully weighted kick in, and it's a foot race with three of the fastest players on the field.
Yeah, not bad from a second rower at speed, that kick.
Let's go, shot clock off.
What effect can Leigh have with their dropout? They're looking for the touchline. It's a little bit of awkward on the bounce, but Watkins picks it up. Atkin back on the inside, and here's Vuniyayawa, who straightens up with power and muscle. Oh, nearly running over the top of a Moan, of all people. But Salford are set, and here on the outside goes the attempt of Stone. 10 away. Cust sweeps it back to Sneed. Sneed now, Singleton leading the run, but Atkin there, and Watkins, beautiful pass, absolutely beautiful try. Callum Watkins, hats off, angle, poise, and the pass, and on the back of that, it is a score for Ryan Briley.
That is world-class skill from Callum Watkins, to ride the tackle, to keep his legs moving, present the ball two-handed to the supporting Ryan Briley. Outstanding from the veteran. You talked about his speed and his pace, of course, started as a back, on the wing in fact, graduated to be a world-class centre, and for the last 2 or 3 years, after a bit of an injury hit couple of years, is the first name on the team sheet in a Salford jersey now. Good decision from the half-back Chris Atkin to give the short pass. Don't go out the back, give it to the man running hard on an outside shoulder from Lamon. The presentation and the pass, well, you can watch 100 games and still only see one of them. Outstanding.
Well, we were anticipating a very good game here tonight, and so far so very good with 20 minutes played.
Well, both coaches encourage the team, make that pass, because a pass sometimes, the determining factor on whether it's a good one or a bad one is down to the support run, and whether the support run is committed. On that occasion, Briley was committed and he got his just desserts.
So here's Sneed, famous kicking tee, and that iconic build-up of his. He'll take all the time in the world here. Just settles himself, shuts out all the outside noise. Looks like the coolest man on a hot night in the Leigh Sports Village with a kick that swept in, never in any doubt. And 12 points to 6 now. The gap is narrowed to 1 score between these two sides.
Well, you'd give the first quarter to the home side. Really dominant performance from them. Good work in the forwards, some craft and some skill, and of course those 2 tries from Hanley and Charnley. But as soon as we hit the 20-minute mark, Salford, who refused to give in any side, well, they post their first points of the match.
Paul Rowley, a former Leigh coach, of course. Ryan Briley, his scorer, a former Leigh player. They were both darlings in these parts not that long ago, but tend to get a less warm welcome these days.
Move now! Hold this check. Hold.
Cust. There's Vuniyayawa struggling to get out because of the enthusiasm of those Leigh defenders.
He's got a great technique, Pape. He's not just an attacking player. He does miss a few. He has a temptation to miss, but when he hits, he drives and pushes players back.
And Sneed will kick from very, very, very deep.
He's got it, you know.
There's a 20-40 potential.
Oh, he's got it.
And did Moylan have a foot out there? The touch judge, well, it doesn't matter because the follow-up, the chase from Ethan Ryan. Oh, hang on. What's the referee saying here?
He might just be taking some information there. What they're saying is he was already in touch.
We'll have a look at that. Oh, he's in touch. He's in touch.
He is, yeah.
And the video referee will get involved here. Yeah. This is where the technology is fab, isn't it? Yeah. Because the referee and the touch judge, in the blink of an eye, it's maybe hard to just get that accurate, but because we got the replay here, yeah, it's clearly, well, this is going to be, instead of a penalty for Leigh, is going to be the result of an absolutely fantastic kick from Mark Sneyd.
So we haven't mentioned Mark Sneyd too much so far in this game, but he has an understanding of the game, especially off the boot, what his side needs, when they need it, and he has the skill and accuracy to deliver that. That's a real momentum changer, isn't it, that one?
Well,
like you said, Woodsy, a great use of the technology. The referee's instinct was it was a penalty for dragging Molam into touch, but us and 1,000 fans in front of us knew that he was in touch as he touched the ball.
Well, I was going to say the purists were not over keen on the 20-40 when it was first introduced a couple of years ago, because it gave some poor attacking, maybe, poor yardage clearance, the chance to save its net when you've got someone like Mark Sneyd in your side.
I'm all right with it because it rewards skill, Dave. It promotes and rewards skill.
Little drop back on the inside from Partington to Vuniyayawa, who's dumped to the ground. Custy's in at dummy half, 30 away. Having been 12-0 behind, Salford are searching out an equalising moment here. Briley with a little short pass again for Stone. Stone gets up and plays. Cuss back into Sneyd, and Sneyd to Singleton. Atkin, they're going right across the line here to Watkins, but no further than him. Couple of plays to go. Atkin offers his inside. Vuniyayawa looking to settle things down here, give them a platform to work from. Both sides on this last play. Atkins, the man who's charged with it. The pass is poor. Ryan does well to pick it up. The defender's almost overrun him, and the kick back on the inside. It's a penalty. Yep. Neddy MacDonald clearly offside. And Ethan Ryan might be kicking himself here because he might have had a good chance of scoring there, but in being unselfish, he's given the penalty away.
You're absolutely spot on. Neddy MacDonald, I think Callum Watkins as well, were in front from that kick. He didn't back his ability to beat the man. He didn't even back his ability to put that kick in for himself. It was a sloppy play, wasn't it, from Atkin, who's, let's be honest, the second choice when it comes to putting a kick in. So if he does command it and overcall it, he has to get it right, Chris Atkin.
Well, Moylan's in the way, so there's no certainty of Ryan scoring there, but chance goes. Talking point made. It remains Leigh 12, Salford 6, and it remains a really good game here.
I'm going to go back to what, sorry Dave, I'm going to go back to what I said before a ball was kicked. It's going to be controlled chaos, this game. The team that just about defends better than the other, because we could end up with a 36-38 win for one of these teams.
This is a Pape waiting at dummy half again. Looking on his inside for the heavy artillery to try and take it forward.
Move, Brad!
Pape. Jack Ormonroyd, we're told, is struggling with what looks like a rib injury. Stayed on after that initial hit that looked more like the neck, really, didn't it? So maybe he was hurt again, if it is a rib. Kick away from McNamara, but he had to hurry because the pressure was coming. For all of that, it's a difficult bounce here for Salford to deal with defensively. Hardacre picks up for Leigh. He's travelling back, and maybe he didn't see the referee with the arm in the air telling him it was a six tackle.
I think he was looking for another option. Was trying to buy some time, didn't account for the defenders in front of him.
Back up, boys, please.
That's probably the first sloppy end to a set that the Leigh Leopards have had.
Cust, Cross leading the charge. Cust in at dummy half. And now they're looking a little wider here, and opportunities suddenly presenting themselves for Atkin, who's done really well. Scrambling, terrier-like run from him. Wants to play it quickly, but he's lost the ball in trying to do that.
For what it's worth, I think the referee's right here. Chris Atkin, who does a remarkable job. His evasion skills to get away from defenders. Ultimately, the big man, Tom Amon, makes the tackle. And I think he's gone for the penalty. The more we can spot that, the more we can snuff that out, the better for me. As he gets up to play the ball, he keeps hold of it, and he flings himself on the floor. Cynical play, I think we call it in modern day.
One. Move now! Wait here, Sam. Wait now.
So the ups and downs of a lively game.
Two.
Brad Dwyer on the field, you'll have spotted there. On the interchange bench.
Hold, wait.
Less of a lead role that he had when Pape was injured, but he always offers that potential, doesn't he? Always offers that spark.
It's his best role, to come on and change the game up.
Here's Lamb. Looking wide, trying to draw that Salford defence in, but Lafay's having none of that. This is slow, this is very slow. That doesn't help Dwyer's intentions. It'll have to be a pass, will it? Yes, it will. A couple of steps before he got it away, though. Davis.
5. Move. Find me now. Wait.
Dwyer again, just telling his players where he wants them to be. Moylan and Lamb with a quick pass. The defence was closing quickly. They've done well here, Leigh, to get it on to Charlie, who has that ball played up. Just hit Atkin in the chest.
Both teams taking a deep breath, just having a look at the body language. I'm just having a look at the talk from both sets of players. They're both instinctive, aren't they? It's good skill, it's catch and pass. It ends up being something and nothing, but they're not afraid to try things like that. That is the beauty of both sides.
So many aspects to a Super League season, aren't there? It starts in the gloom and ends in the gloom with the rain and the muddy fields, but in between time we've got these dry tracks and sunny nights and sunny afternoons.
Are you confident that the sun is here now, Woodsy?
Absolutely.
Are you?
Absolutely.
It'll be a glorious 9 days.
Signal to the code. At least till Sunday, Barry.
I prefer rain on Sunday, especially in Leeds.
We'll get on to that in just a while, because it's a big day for rugby league lovers on Sunday afternoon in Leeds as well, which features lots of legends, including Baz. This is Lafay, and a good offload again has kept it alive. Sneed pumps it back into the hands of Partington. Partington, that's another offload. There's some offloads in this play. And then it's Sneed who pops it over the top and gives Ethan Ryan an invitation to have a run here. But they close in and they shut him down. Last play. Atkin quickly up there. Sneed again. Up it goes. Nenny McDonald's after this at pace. It's just blocked in his travels there. And Moylan brings it back to the 10-metre line from where Leigh will start.
Some good work from the Leigh defenders there, just getting in the way of Nenny McDonald, who was looking to attack Matt Moylan in his attempt to catch that ball. You feel like the game took a breath for a couple of minutes. It's got its breath back and it's ready to go hell for leather for half-time.
Charlie with that latest carry. Hanley with the next. Both with their Wigan connections. O'Brien. Whoa, just play a hand on it, on it. And Hughes is claiming it was knocked down and not knocked on, and the referee agrees with that, and the ball's gone backwards, and Leigh still have it, albeit in less favourable position.
Yeah, you're right, it was a defender, not sure who it was from Salford, pats the ball down, knocks it out of the grasp, Oliver Partington, but yeah, play on. I don't mind rewarding skill, as in the 20-40. I don't want to reward that.
Dwyer's having a go, as is his wont. Here comes Amon. Could see that advancing defence, so decided against the risk of the pass and took it on himself. Davis to Lamb, and Lamb with a little ball on the inside. There was a hand on that. Davis will carry it on. More footwork from Davis, and eventually Briley's back there to offer the definitive piece of footwork to hammer it out of play.
When the big forwards from the Leopards take charge of this broken defensive line. Lachlan Lamb, whenever he touches the ball, there's something going to happen. You just can't find Ben McNamara with that support run.
Come on then, boys, let's go.
Salford will take as long as they can here. Shot clock is on at the moment. The referee's just warning Mark Sneed that there's only a matter of seconds before it goes down to 0.
Even more, boys.
And here comes Hughes. Well, that first carry.
One. Move, Sam. Hold, wait, boys. Go on.
Dwyer. Now a Mo.
Move.
Dwyer again.
Tackle, Ryan.
Lee
Hold.
just beginning to look menacing again. From their point of view, at the right end of the field, McNamara tries to duck underneath a couple of defenders.
By me now.
12 away.
Hold.
Dwyer's waiting.
Hold. Go free.
Little wave of the hand on the inside from Hughes, who wants it, who helps it on the way. It's taken a Salford hand. It'll be another set of 6 here. No, it won't. The referee says first knock on. There were a couple.
I think Salford knocked the ball on first, don't they, in an attempt to shut the play down.
Yeah, just put it back on for them, mate.
They spread the ball really well. They've got a number of players that can use that skill. They're getting up quick on Lachlan Lamb, taking all his time and space, so
Stay responsive, boys, like we are doing.
probably 4 or 5 times when we've seen Lachlan Lamb catch and pass at the same time, it hasn't quite gone to hand. So from a defensive point of view, Salford will be happy with the pressure that they're putting on him, and that's the reason it looks so sloppy and messy.
Need somebody there, boys. Yeah, got to bring it in.
A man short of the scrum.
Head in, Ryan, shot clock off.
Not now.
Out.
Dwyer onto Lamb. 6 tackles to have a go. Moylan
One.
ranging wide.
Move, Chris. The line.
Salford deal with the first, but 5 more to come. Hanley picks up inside for Lachlan Lamb again. Dwyer now, helping it on its way. McNamara pumps it back. In quickly on Lutelli comes that Salford defence.
Hold now, wait. Go,
Even Ryan travelled a distance there to make sure he made that connection. This is Davis.
3.
So 3 still to go. Dwyer looking to that right-hand side. A moan now. Lamb puts it over the top. Hanley's there at full pace, and a Miley Hanley will fly in for his 2nd try. You cannot stop him scoring at the moment. He's running away with it. 2 tries for him tonight, a 3rd for Lee, and 16 points to 6 they lead.
Well, the tactic of passing the ball, moving the ball, virtually going from touchline to touchline, is proving fruitful for the Leigh Leopards. Space was created, a player on the edge, and look at the quality of this pass from Lachlan Lamb. He knows exactly where Hanley needs to be and lets the ball meet the man.
Well, he only played 2 games for Lee last season, but this year in 2024 he's turning into a Leopard superstar. 12 tries I think that is now this season from Amila Hanley.
I'm going to go back to Lachlan Lamb. Salford keep getting up really quick, trying to shut him down, trying to take that time off him, but because of his depth on that play, it was Tom Amon's carry, then there was a pass, and Lachlan Lamb at that point could stand back, have a look, weigh up defenders, count numbers, and recognise where that ball needed to be.
So the Leigh fans animated again as their team appear back in their own half. Meanwhile, at the other end of the field, Matt Moylan remains calm, cool and collected. Looking to make it 3 kicks out of 3 tonight if he puts this one over. No, he hasn't made it, but 16 points to 6. And Leigh are making a bit of a statement in this first half.
I think Adrian Lamb and his team will be delighted with the way that they absorbed that pressure. Think back 2 or 3 sets of 6 ago. The kick was put in from Salford, and then McDonald claiming a try, and a couple of sets later march their opposition down the other end of the pitch and come away with 4 points. So they've weathered the storm from Salford, and they're on the assertive again.
Well, it's only the 13th time that these two sides have met in Super League. Been in different divisions, a lot of that history of the Super League era, of course. Salford have really dominated, 9 wins out of those previous 12. But just at the moment, it's Leigh who are looking good, but still a long, long way to go. 4 minutes of this half and 40 the next. So nobody's taking anything for granted as Davies brings it forward. There's a kick from behind the 40 from Moylan, but simple take for Briley. And a very good chase by 6 or 7 outriders in Leigh colours.
Full of energy, aren't they, the Leigh Leopards? It was a dazzling pass that found Myla Hanley, and that's energised the home team now. You can see the line speed has picked up 10 or 15%, and they look keen on task.
Inside for Lafay, but not striding too far before they're wrapped around him, and Atkin likewise has nowhere to run because Leigh are right in his face. Leigh Burrow on the field from the interchange bench. McDonald, little dummy towards Watkins, not bought by those Leigh defenders. St Helens are increasing their lead in the game. Oh, there's a little chip by Sneed. Sneed will follow up this as well. Gets hands on it. Moylan's closed him down. Spun it back. Still the 6th tackle. Taken on by Watkins. Charged down by Charlie. It's another set of 6. And a step back on the inside here from McDonald. And McDonald takes it to 10. And Salford have chanced their arm here. And they've come up trumps. So 6 to go from here because it's restarted again. Partington just building the platform, but the offload has given it all away. McNamara has it back for the Leigh Leopards.
A lack of composure there. They just about got the ball back. It was a lucky charge down. They ended up with the ball in their hands, but you make your own luck in rugby league. You put yourself in the right place and good things will happen. But there's 3-4 defenders around him, and it's an ugly, scruffy offload that they can't pick up. But I will say this, they've done that all evening, the Salford team.
Well, just a reminder of that scoreline then. St Helens are now leading 8 points to 0 at Castleford, but they're down to 12 men because Tommy Makinson has been sent off in that game. If you're going to say that somebody of the 34 players tonight would be shown the red card, I don't think Tommy Makinson would have been high on your list, would he?
No, a fierce competitor, but not one who you'd guess. You're right, yeah, kick pressure. All the fans in front of us not happy with the pressure that Lachlan Lamb received.
He's staying on the ground here momentarily, Lachlan Lamb, but now he's up. Was this a penalty, or did the referee and his assistants get this right?
Some at nothing, Dave. 50-50 that one.
Sneed. This is Ethan Ryan.
Move, Brad, back down, come on.
Amir Burrow up and waiting.
Okay.
Just couldn't clear that play the ball area because of the pressure. Bit of dramatics coming in as well there from Brad Dwyer, but he has got a penalty. And Nenny McDonald can't believe it.
Well, he competed on the last play of the ball, tapped the arm of Amir Burrow, then made the tackle. He's one of those players, isn't it? Never shuts up, never stops. He makes that tackle on Amir Burrow. 2 former Leeds Rhinos players in Nene McDonald and Brad Dwyer. And you're right, he made the most out of that. It looks like Leigh are going to try and nick those 2 points back that they didn't get on the Hanley try.
Moylan's got the tee. Now the referee just confirming that. So plenty to talk about from the 2 coaches at half-time, I'm sure.
If I wasn't looking at the scoreboard, I'd say that Leigh would be delighted with the way that they've approached that first half, and Salford would say, we need to defend better, we need to control the play of the ball and stop making those basic mistakes, and that'll be probably the talk and the communication from both camps.
Moylan strides up and strikes it, and has he put it wide? Yes, he has. And that will be that. Still play on. And Amila Hanley gets a hand on that, so I think it'll be a knock-on anyway, even if he picks it up. And it is ended finally. But what a first half that was. Amila Hanley with a brace. He started into the 6th minute and got his second 7 minutes before the break, and that has put Leigh in a terrific position at the moment. 16 points to 6 leaders at half-time. There's plenty of time for Salford to fix this up, but Leigh will be massively, massively encouraged by what's happened in that first half. Wonderful entertainment from both sides as well. Well, plenty to talk about at half-time. And we are going to be back for full analysis of what has been a fascinating first 40 minutes and some wonderful tries in just a few moments' time.
Welcome to a new season, folks. The home of Rugby League is right here.
Yeah, buckle up. Look at the emotion.
An absolute flying machine.
Nice work there on beauty.
Brilliant. That is an extraordinary moment.
Did miraculously well to get it through.
He jumped like a rainbow and came up with a pot of gold.
And a triple header coming your way tomorrow from the NRL as well. Back to back from Australia. Tigers against the Knights, 6 a.m. Dragons against the Rabbitohs at 8:30. And the Storm against the Sharks at 10:45. Set your alarm early. Make yourself cups of tea and get your cornflakes out at half-time in each of those games. And you'll get some wonderful entertainment. So there's a fascinating game going on elsewhere here tonight as well. I mean, this is great. Leigh 16, Salford 6, wonderful entertainment. But my word, maybe a story developing at the Jungle. Castleford 4, St Helens 8. And a reminder that Tommy Makinson has been sent off in that game. So that could be a fascinating final 40 minutes there as well. That's available for your delectation. We hope you stay here because we're, and hopefully you, are being entertained with what we're watching at the moment. Amila Hanley with a couple of tries. Josh Charnley with his 299th career try. In between times, Ryan Briley finishing an excellent effort from Callum Watkins as well. So plenty to look back on in that first half. Barry McDermott.
Plenty of bash and crash from Tom Amon and Rob Mulhern in the early exchanges. But it didn't take long, did it? Singleton offload went to floor. There's a bit of a fumble from Salford deep in their own half. But Amila Hanley has 2 tries in the first half. A brave line, a nice pass, nice recognition from Matt Moylan, who's probably been the pick of the bunch for the Leigh Leopards in the first half. The celebrations from the players, they know that they needed to start big. A fast ruck, a Pape out, probing, having a look, and a class kick. There's been a couple of really nice touches from Lachlan Lamb. The first one was a kick. He doesn't get them wrong, does he, Josh Charnley? He gets over on the opposite side. But it was Salford, more or less on 20 minutes, getting the first points with what is a wonderful pass from Callum Watkins. Passing the ball, trusting that Ryan Briley will see where the ball is. He passes the ball to the call rather than full sight of the player. Lachlan Lamb floats that pass. The more I watch that, the more I think he might just have got away with one, Lachlan Lamb. It doesn't matter, it's been given. Read it in the papers, as they say.
Well, it sets it up nicely for the second half, doesn't it? Those are the stats from that first half. Leigh dominating possession, completed sets, 100-odd metres more as well than their opponents, which means that Salford have had to make the most tackles. Leigh with 15 missed tackles, though, in that first half.
There's always going to be missed tackles, isn't there, with a team the two teams we're watching here, they throw the ball around, they offload the ball, they break tackles, bust tackles. But it's about that chaos element to our game. If you can control the chaos, if you can cool your mind down, for the away team, Mark Sneyd has to step forward and control this game, and Lachlan Lamb is trying to do the same, and he's been better so far in the first 40.
Well, it has been a fantastic atmosphere so far tonight, and both sets of supporters have something to cheer and plenty to look forward to in what should be a fabulous second half. Coming next. It is Rugby League Reloaded for 2024.
Big hit goes in there.
This is getting fiery now. Making it all look magic. This is more than just a game. He's prolific this year.
What a challenge that was. Sensational try.
They go for glory and they win the game. It has been marvellous and memorable. Well, we've got a triple header of Super League action coming to you on Saturday and Sunday, of course. Two big games, Huddersfield against Wick. That could be a Challenge Cup final dress rehearsal, who knows? But that's tomorrow at 2:55 p.m, Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports main event. That should be a cracker. And then later on, another huge game, Catalan against Leeds, 5 o'clock kickoff. Well, we're on air, 5 o'clock. Sky Sports Arena is where you will find that. And on Sunday, two teams who've been struggling to get wins. London looking still for their first win of the season against Hull FC. And if you might remember, London very nearly beat Hull FC up in Hull earlier in the season. So do they get their first win this season, or do Hull FC kick on? We shall see. That's Sunday. This is tonight. Castleford 4, St Helens 8. Reminder, Tony Makinson sent off in that first half. So that is not going the way that many would have thought it would be going. Certainly not at this stage. And here, Leigh 16, Salford 6. We have been regally entertained in the first 40 minutes. Hanley a couple of tries, Charnley his try as well. Moylan 2 out of 3 with the kicks. And a chance for Leigh, converted by Ryan Briley in terms of scoring his try as well. Well, lots to talk about at half-time from Paul Rowley, I'm sure. What would he be looking for? Leigh are out, but what would he be looking for, Paul Rowley, from his side of the second half?
An improved defensive effort. But before that, and it probably boils down to the DNA of both teams, better decisions when offloads are being forced. Brad Singleton, we saw it for the first try, Yamila Hanley scored. It was a forced offload, 3 players around him. My mind tracks back to probably 2 or 3 minutes before half-time. Ollie Partington doing the same. Paul Rowley doesn't play the same way that most teams do in Super League. He doesn't drill the middle. He doesn't try and create momentum at the play of the ball. Most of the time he tries to pass and offload to create momentum. So sometimes, Dave, to answer the question, plan B is just to do plan A much, much better.
Well, we're about to get this second half underway. We're all trying to draw conclusions, aren't we, about who's going to win, who's going to finish where. But we are constantly reminded that Super League season is a marathon, not a sprint. And as we get this second half underway here, Barry, you are involved in a marathon, a very special marathon on Sunday afternoon.
I am. It's for Rugby League great Rob Burrow. It's the second Leeds marathon. There's a half marathon and the full marathon on the same day. I did the half last year with my son and daughter Billy and Sophie. This year I'm doing a full one with Billy, and Jessica and Don, Billy's partner, are doing the half. So it's going to be a great day, and good luck to all the runners in the Leeds marathon and half marathon.
Yeah, Rob Burrow, very much a central theme to that, isn't it? And lots of Rugby League legends will be there as well, taking part. So if you can go along and support, please do. Ninu back here at Leigh Sports Village. Moylan looking to bring it clear. McNamara's got back there at dummy half, and here's a Myler Hanley who's just run into a footing shoulder.
Move, Chris!
And he's not going much further downfield. Chris Hankinson, who's on the
Play
field,
on,
is the
he's
man
doing it.
who made that tackle. Off the interchange bench, Hankinson tonight.
Move! Don't go early. Hold.
Ex-Leigh player, of course, a few years ago now. This is a Mo. He's carried it well in that first period. Carried it well for most of his league career so far, Tom Mo. Davis picked up, put down, fairly and squarely. Would have knocked a bit of wind out of the lungs, wouldn't it, that challenge? And then the kick.
Frankie, give 10.
But Briley safely pouches. And then looks up and sees a decent challenging line coming his way. And slips in the tackle to start Leigh there.
It's another red wall, isn't it? That energy battle that rugby league boils down to. Kick, chase, defend, kick, chase, defend. Talks about drilling the middle and maybe the Salford side not applying themselves in that department. Well, cast your mind back to Morney, Rob Mulhern, that opening 10 minutes. How many times did we remark on meters after contact, breaking tackles and knocking defenders on the backside? That was the platform, I feel.
Oh, there's MacDonald again with another of those offloads. Just keeps producing them, doesn't he? And that's an extra 10 metres he's just earned for his side by keeping that ball alive. Burrow spinning it all the way back to Sneed. And here comes Stone, waving away a couple of defenders, but having picked a different route, he's unable to make too much progress. Sneed has to be quick with the hands there. The pass was a little sharp. Moylan under control, and Charnley is offered an opportunity to have a run, and he rarely turns those down, and off he goes. Briley's after him, but Charnley is going to score in the corner. Wow, that will go down in history. His 300th career try. Josh Charnley, he knows the stats, and he knows his way to the try line, and that was spectacular. But hang on,
Please, Ben.
we got a question.
I was there, it was just Johnny who was waiting for.
He's trying to catch his breath, the referee. What a try, or what a run, and possible
Thank
try.
you. We have a
Is he going to be
call.
awarded?
Live call on field of a try, and it's still in possession. He's jumped from the field of play quite clearly. We're just going to see if he gets the ball down, and it's in his right hand. We're just going to go back from there. His legs are clearly in the air, and the ball is down. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
He's scored some spectacular tries in his career. That is the 300th, and it's right up there in terms of finishes and in terms of what he had to do. What was that, 80 metres down the field, a dive for the corner, and Josh Charnley, with the headlights blaring, has just taken himself to that big moment.
Absolutely breathtaking from Josh Charnley. Sometimes doing the job that you and I do, Dave, you feel lucky to be watching players like that live and in front of you on the grass. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, stepped off that left foot, and from the minute he breaks the tackle of Nene MacDonald, he knows he's going for that corner, doesn't he? He knows he's going to get it down in the left-hand corner. He can feel the presence of Ryan Briley, but judges it perfectly. Absolutely wonderful try. And that is a winger's instinct, isn't it? Judges time and space perfectly.
Well, heroes come and go, don't they? He's the current hero. It's a former hero of these parts that very nearly denied him this moment. He's scored some spectacular tries himself in league colours down the years. But it's the man of the moment, Josh Charnley, with a triple century.
And let's not forget, at the back end of his Warrington career, he was questioning his desire to play the game.
Hardick has kicked the goal. And suddenly, Leigh leading here by 22 points to 6. And there's a sense of a party developing at the Leigh Sports Village, even amongst the grumpy folk sitting on the posh seats.
Just brilliant, brilliant. We will learn a little bit about Salford as well here. They've gone in the changing rooms. I've no doubt that Paul Rowley has shortened them up with some severe questions what are you going to do in this second half? He's given some instructions to carry out, and virtually 2 to 3 minutes into the first half, a try like that is scored against you.
Well, do they part the waves, or are they party poopers here, Salford? Will they dig down and dig deep and get themselves back into this? But at the moment, it is Leigh who are playing with all the enthusiasm, all the bubble. And they're looking for more here. They want plenty more. Up to the halfway line, 2 plays to go. Salford need to silence this crowd, get their own fans into it, but Davis almost puncturing a hole in there. Dwyer comes out, spins it left. This is Lamb's kick towards the corner. As difficult as it comes for Briley in terms of escaping from there. Salford with a lot of work to do now.
Look at that chase, like a fisherman's net. 5 players present no space whatsoever. And they're on the toes now, the Leopards, attacking while in defence.
They need a big effort here, a big effort. Lining up a dummy half. Just like stones out of a catapult, they come flying forward, but they hit the wall and bounce down. These lead defenders are doing their job here.
You know what's coming here, don't you? Mark Sneed with some kind of conjuring kick will look to try and get his team out of trouble.
Well, here he is. Here he is. That's exactly what he produces. So a wobble and a spin as it hits the ground. Moylan collects. Here's Hanley. He's taken a bit of the headlines tonight with his couple of tries in that first half, but no doubt Josh Charnley's a starman at the moment, and here he is again looking for a hat-trick. In terms of all-time Super League records, by the way, Charnley's now at 239, so he's 7 behind Ryan Hall, 8 behind Danny Maguire. Just a push and a shove, but St Helens look to have settled the ship a little at the jungle. 14-4 winners there, and Leigh are off again, and Charnley is off again. They're dragged down with 1 play to go. Lamb's lining up in the middle. Here he comes, skipping to the left, and he puts that little kick in as well, and it's going to be another. Davis listens for the roar, and here's it. Referee Agendo is asking the question, and again he's providing half the answer. He thinks it's a try.
He's onside, please, Ben, then going through to the grounding. Live decision try.
Let's hear from Betfred.
So live decision is try. So the inside chaser is there. The ball is now on the foot, and he is onside. Dean, so let's go on from here. He's onside. The ball's passed to him. Keep it going and pause it there. Thank you, I've now made my decision.
Quick look, quick call, another try. Leigh are threatening to run away with it now. Matt Davis, the latest. And you can hear the roar when that's confirmed. 26 points to 6. It is becoming a flood rushing through that Salford defence at the moment.
Yeah, that's rugby league at its very, very best. A little bit of skill, some unselfish play by Kai O'Donnell, just to simply hand it on to Matt Davis. He could have easily scored himself. The line that Lachlan Lamb takes to probably equal defenders to equal attackers, then he manages to expose some space, just stabs the ball through, and the skill of Kai O'Donnell, the unselfish nature for him to pass it back inside was outstanding.
And Manley and Davis having a little bit of a dance. Interesting that Hardacre has taken over the kicking duties in this second half, because Matt Moylan was 2 from 3. It wasn't exactly disastrous in the first period from him, was it? But Hardacre's no stranger to the kicking tee either, so they're in good hands, or good feet, if that should be the expression, and there it goes, and it's another 2, and it's 28 points to 6, and it's going to take something special here from Salford now.
All the great teams play with an instinct when things aren't a plan, inverted commas. They're not a plan, they're just playing what they see. The good teams react, and there's an instinct to get yourself where the action is. It's an instinctive kick, it's an instinctive pick up and pass, and he's delighted with that try, Matt Davis.
Well, Salford have only lost 3 games this season against Leeds and Wigan and Castleford. They probably should have beaten Wigan, they could have beaten Leeds. It's only the Castleford game really where, by their coach's judgment, they were poor that night, and Cass rather run away with things. And this is taking on a similar look here at the moment, isn't it? With Leigh in control.
Yeah, let's not forget Salford in that cluster of teams, all tied up at the top until last night. So, a team with significant kudos and credibility within the link. The strength of carry from the middlemen is the glaring difference for me. The platform is laid by the Leigh forwards.
But the champagne corks are popping here at the moment, and there's plenty more bubble being promised by the home team.
They can't do it though, unless Amone, Rob Mulhern, those big men, those platform layers do their job.
Once a prop, always a prop, eh, Baz?
Absolutely. Rob Mulhern looks like he's getting ready to return and come back onto the field.
Sneak comes left to Ryan. Ryan with a carry.
What would you have played, Woodsy? Forward or back?
I would not have played.
Let's just manifest you into a rugby player. Forward or back?
Don't just lack pace and ability, but courage as well. So that's why I never played the game.
It didn't stop O'Connor.
Stone has made it to the halfway line. He's taken a bit of a knock there as well by the looks of it. Partington bounces it into the hands and out again of Hankinson. And Leigh will get an opportunity to build a set back inside their opponent's half from this handover.
Like a deer in the headlights at the minute, aren't they? Trying to construct something, trying to play their way out of trouble. There's nothing wrong with the pass. Just simply Chris Hankinson with the anxiety of what's in front of him and the awareness of that scoreboard, 28 points to 6. Just second guesses himself and his skill lets him down.
30 minutes to play. It's an age. It's an age.
It is when you're in that scrum, you're in the shirt, the white shirt, you're looking up at the scoreboard, you're thinking, my word, this could be very embarrassing.
But it also gives Salford just a hint of optimism, if that's not too strong a word in these circumstances at the moment. And if they can score next, and there's an opportunity, because that ball has been spilled. I think it's Frankie Holton who's lost it.
Yeah, and I'm pleased for Hankinson there. He's involved in the tackle. Frankie Holton acknowledges he's made the mistake. But every player, every rugby league player makes a mistake. It's important you don't shy away, you don't hide. Hankinson, who it looks to me like he's playing in the pack. He's a centre by trade. But Lafay and Nene McDonald are 2 of the best in the division, so he's been called into the pack.
So Salford lining themselves up here for a counter punch. That looked forward. It was forward. That's why it looked it. Referee might not have had the best angle, but the touch judge on the near side certainly did. And there's just a bit of scrappiness and untidiness from Salford at the moment. They are rattled because of what they're up against at this stage.
Yeah, and we've talked a few times about the close links between both clubs. It's the default setting for Salford, and it works and has worked so often. 7 wins they've got so far in 2024, but when you get that pressure, that pressure, it just makes you just juddery, just jittery. Nene McDonald would never have passed that ball off his outside foot. It would have been off his inside foot, but he's not thinking straight, passes that ball, mistake is made.
Remember, even in defeat tonight, Salford will only be 2 points off top spot at the end of this weekend. And Leigh are closing the gap, maybe, on that top 6 with the way they're playing at the moment. Charlie's on fire at the moment. Seems to be carrying that on his right hip. Lamb opposite inside. Just smashed in again by Mulhern. Leigh fans are sensing another opportunity to get off their seats. Lamb tries to curl it over the top. Laffey got a touch on that. Referee says play on. Hanley's going for a hat-trick. Too many Salford bodies in the way, but it is zero tackle, and they're only inches away from that glorious line that they're looking to cross. It bounces, it bobbles, but Moylan with a pick-up. 6 plays to go here because of that tackle count restart. Ship settled by Trout.
Move! Back now. Ball.
Here comes Dwyer. Looking right. Hughes is travelling with him. Just looped up. Not sure that Hughes could do any much more than that, because as soon as he got it, defenders were at him. Dwyer goes left. Just Mulhern looking to carry. Dwyer's having a shout at his teammates, urging them where he wants to be. It's popped up, but backwards, and that's literally given away, and Ryan has it, and Salford already looking to attack.
That was a set play from Brad Dwyer, asking 2 players to run at different angles. And when the space was there for Jack Hughes, he wanted to find an offload. Nobody was there. On balance, they've been better in those occasions. They've made better decisions with their offload, and I think it's because of that strength of carry.
Laffey's offloading here. Very well.
Move away! Back now, back.
He's carting it in. Burrow. Sneed. Again, it's lively.
4. Move, Zach! Wait, boys! Wait!
MacDonald. Inside for Hankinson.
5. Move away off the ball!
I think you've mentioned this, but he's playing in a very unusual central role, isn't he, Chris Hankinson?
I can't see a recognised prop on the field for Salford at the minute. They lost because of a rib injury, Jack Ormonroyd. Big King didn't last too much longer. Whether they're trying to get him back on the field, he looks like he's prowling the touchline.
It looks like King Vuniyayawa and Brad Singleton are both about to return.
They need it, don't they? They need to match the firepower of the Leopards.
Lamb is the dummy half on that occasion. Bustling effort.
Move, don't go early now! Goal 3.
Here they go. A weave and a dodge and a step.
Play on, 4.
And suddenly Salford's line looks to be in an element of danger again. Lamb just simply slipped over.
Stand, 5.
Last play, Leigh. 30 away. Moylan measures the kick. It's an easy take for Ryan, but then he's in turn an easy take for those chasing defenders.
But it's a great kick. Kicked into corners. That means they can really compress the defence, really put some pressure on the ball carriers now and look to get them over the try line and force a goal line dropout.
They look like a line of sprinters on the 100 metres, because they're all down on their haunches, ready, get set and go as soon as the ball is played. These Leigh defenders, they are rushing out and just not allowing Salford any room to advance here.
And it's off the back of a couple of good sets and a deliberate kick by Matt Moylan.
Sneed has to produce that in the end to just get it away from danger, but Moylan with a catch, and Moylan will carry it back again. Salford have shown a bit of energy here to get up there, and Moylan's slip helps out the defensive course.
Wonderful recognition from Matt Moylan, understanding that in his repertoire, Mark Sneed, he's going to try a 20-40 as he did in the first half. They're desperate to try and get a foothold back in this game now, Salford.
They made 3 changes. St Helens looking a little more comfortable now, despite the lack of 13th man. St Helens 20, Castleford 4. Dwyer. Couple of plays to go here for Leigh. Again, ensconced at the right end of the field from their point of view.
5. Move, extra side. 6 again.
Dwyer. Another set of 6. They've reached the 5th tackle, and another set of 6. That is on the unforgivable mark, really. Holton gets up to play. Dwyer, they've loaded up this right side, but as Salford defenders go over there, Dwyer's going to have a run, and right through the grasp of King Vuniyayawa, and right into the hands of those celebrating Leigh fans at that end. It's a cakewalk at the moment for the Leigh Leopards. They're loving it tonight.
If that is deliberate, it's genius, Dave. As you said, late movement to the short side from 2 or 3 Leigh players. And Brad Dwyer feints ever so slightly to those players, goes back to the open side, finds space and scores right under the H's. He'll be delighted to post points, get a try. But again, it's just another nail in the coffin. You can see late movement. Everybody in a Salford shirt is thinking, get numbers over to that left-hand side. And Brad Dwyer, as I said, I'd like to say it's deliberate, but knowing Brad Dwyer, as I do, he's probably just made it up 0.1 of a second before he starts on that run.
And make a case for the non-defence from King Buniyayo, because, I mean, he's only just back on the field, isn't he? So he can't claim fatigue.
He's facing a much more nimble man. He's a big man, 6'3", 6'4", so he's going to have to bend his back.
Dwyer's got that skittish nature to his game, hasn't he? Doesn't always come off, but when he does, he can make such an impact. They're looking to become the most successful goal kicker tonight. This will be 3 out of 3, right in front of the sticks, up his steps, and over it goes. Another chance to celebrate from the Leopard faithful, and 34 points to 6. And this, by the way, is now Leigh's biggest ever score against Salford in the Super League.
It's probably the most commanding performance they put in 2024. A number of players not available at the beginning. Edwin Apapie came back last week. Tom Amon was out for 4 weeks. They're not quite at full strength. Asiata on the sideline. But they're not far off, are they, Dave? And they're looking sweet place already.
Well, we're hearing news from the Castleford St Helens game that Liam Horn has been sent off as well, so they're down to 12 apiece. But 12 apiece in terms of personnel, but St Helens 26 for winners. Where it really matters. Salford looking to dig themselves back in here. But my goodness, they and Leigh have made it very hard. It's Cust at dummy half. Hartington goes to Singleton. Singleton with the charge. With the angles red. 3 defenders across there. Cust again. Goes right. Atkin. Braille is involved. Step back on the inside from Ryan, but he's going to be carried out of play, is he? No, he's not. He's done really well to keep it up there. McDonald looking to prosper on the back of that. Leigh having to be on their mettle. They've been enjoying the heady times at the other end of the field, but they've got some hard work to do here.
Still hustling in defence. 34-6 on the scoreboard. They don't want to let Salford in at all.
Cust slinging it back. Sneed. Now it's with Lafay. Carrying that arm. Popping up and just giving it away.
Frankie Alton has done his homework, hasn't he? He knows that he's an offloader. He knows if he hangs around the play of the ball, even if he can't see Lafay, he's going to throw it.
It's all going Leigh's way at the moment. Salford will feel like they're living in a Leigh Leopards world just at this stage. Taken in by Mulhern.
You mentioned the Salford fans, didn't you, just before half-time? Look at them now. They know that the side is struggling, way behind on the scoreboard. But look at how animated and supportive they are.
Well, I was going to say, if you're listening at home and thinking that's a heck of a noise at the Leeds Sports Village, then it's the Salford fans who are providing 80% of the noise at the moment.
My mind tracks back to the Jackson Hastings year, when Salford got through to the grand final and Salford beat Wigan at Wigan. The side to our left as we were on the gantry was absolutely packed with Salford fans. 5,000 travelled to cheer their side through to the GF.
Well, quite rightly do they travel in numbers, given how successful their side have been this year, against all expectations. But tonight, they are being just taught a lesson by this Leigh Leopards side. Hopkins spins it back in. Cust. Sneed, standing start. He was almost in reverse, actually, but here comes Singleton, who's looking for the forward gears. He's found first and second, but can't get any higher than that because his aspirations closed down. Last play, Sneed. Where's the magic on this boot? Up it goes. Moylan's had a look, little sneaky glance at what's coming his way, and then full concentration on that high ball.
How cool
and
is
he's
he?
more than happy with that.
How cool is Matt Moylan? Obviously he knows his team are in front on the scoreboard, but looks at the ball, never takes his focus off that high hanging ball. What a pick-up he's been, Matt Moylan, for the Leigh Leopards. Was it Nene McDonald that set it all up? Conversation took place over a few scoops. Nene McDonald managed to persuade his mate to come.
St Helens running away with it at Cass. If you're just joining us from that game, because I know people like to leap about between matches on Friday nights, you're just joining us, this has been a super show from Leigh this evening. As the scoreline suggests, not cut and dried at half-time by any means, but on a Myla Hanley try, his second of the night just before the break, giving Leigh a bit of an edge, and they've been more than an edge in this second period.
Back up, boys. Salford, you've got to be on side, lads.
You can see some tired bodies in these white shirts of Salford now, trying to find some candour, trying to find the will and the desire to get back into this game. High tackle gives Salford a penalty and hopefully gets them into the half of Leigh Leopards.
One of those nights for the coaching staff. There's very little you can do to engineer a difference from here, isn't there? Especially one or two of the knocks they've taken in the game, and players who are missing, Ormonroyd especially.
I always transport myself back to being in a game like this and thinking, I don't care what the scoreboard says. I don't want the coach or my teammates to think that I give in a game with, what is it, 15 minutes left of it. Keep going. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. Don't let everybody down.
Here's Singleton, Cumbrian. Had he been born before 1974, he'd been a Lancastrian, but he wasn't, so he's a Cumbrian. Boundary changes and all that. Anyway, that's for the old folk.
Barrow's even closer to the border.
Well, it was Lancashire once upon a time. Here comes Sneed with a little sled kick through, and Moylan watches it into the in-goal area and ducks and dives, and he's on his way. Matt Moylan's travelling well here. Atkin can't keep a hold of him. Moylan's up to the 30 and going beyond. Now he's up to the 40, still going. And eventually Watkins makes a tackle. But what about that for a clearing run for the fullback?
Brilliant. How cute, how sneaky. Hides behind the post pads, Dave. You can't do that.
I think you find you can, Barry. He's just done it.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, is it? Rugby league IQ on that player is sensational. He's been all over the field. All the big touches, all the big moments have had his fingerprints all over them.
Dwyer again. He's got a buzz, hasn't he, Brad Dwyer? You just know he's going to try something spectacular again before the night's out. He's going to have a run. In the back of Mulhern. Oh, there he is. He's having a run now. And off he goes. And he has support. What about that? Rockland Land with a finish. But it's the super sparky Brad Dwyer who sets things up. His instincts gave him the feeling there was something on. He was right, and Leigh had been right all night so far.
Somebody else had instincts, Dave. You knew he was going to run. He knew he was going to run. The only people that didn't know and hadn't prepared were the Salford Red Devils defenders. What a commanding performance it's been by all those key players. You talk about the spine, the 1, 6, 7 and 9, and add Brad Dwyer to that. It all started with a piece of genius from Matt Moylan, deep behind his own goal line, gathers 40 metres upfield. It's brilliant to watch, and the scheming nature of every good 9 is he knows Brad Singleton is a marker. He knows if he just shows a little bit, just opens Brad Singleton up a little bit, there'll be some space, there'll be an ankle tap, and then the instinct of Lamb is to get on the shoulder of Brad Dwyer and take it up to, could be 40.
Well, they're certainly having a party now. St Helens in control, 36-4, I think they're leading against Cass. That's what we're being told. How does Salford react? to all of this as Hardacre sets himself with a kicking challenge to keep his 100% record. This for a nice round 40. And it is a nice round 40. They're a long way past their best ever result against Salford now in the Super League. 32-22, their last one of this intensity back in 2021. But it's just getting better and better here tonight.
I agree with the point that you made, Dave. Everybody has a bad night at the office, however you want to describe it. Everybody loses, but it's the nature, it's the manner, and it's your own personal performance during those tough periods that'll have you question yourself, or the coach question your ability and your position in the team, by the way.
Well, we posed a question earlier tonight before the first ball was kicked, whether Leigh had left it too late to make a charge for the top six. Well, this is now going to be the third game unbeaten, albeit last week was a draw. They've not stopped yet. They're still going. They're still going. But 3 games unbeaten, and watch out, Huddersfield, Hull KR, Catalan, Leeds and Wigan, all away from home. Their next 5 matches, all away from home, because of groundwork that needs to be done at this stadium. But they're not thinking about that at the moment, as Moylan kicks and chases, and Briley saves the day and concedes the dropout. So 5 away. They've had this momentum that they've built up, but now they've got to do it on their travels, Barry.
Momentum is the key word. We saw momentum in that carry. He gets through contact, he presents the ball to Matt Moylan. It's delightful from Ricky Latelli, but they've got momentum. This crowd gives them momentum. We haven't mentioned Derek Beaumont too many times. His infectious enthusiasm gives them momentum to the players, and when they're on the front foot and play like this, they are virtually unstoppable.
Well, that run of games, Huddersfield, Hull KR, Catalan, Leeds, Wigan, all the way, as we said. Also games against teams above them, so they can narrow the gap a little because of that. Saints running away with it there. Not quite scoring at the rate of Leigh tonight.
Nice and quick, keep the standard.
Salford providing some stiff resistance here at the moment. Players waiting. McNamara's hopping to his right-hand side. Puts it back there for Frankie Holton to try and tear a hole in those Salford defenders.
Oh, wow. Everybody over to the left here for Leigh.
Hanley's gone over there. The pass wasn't good, but Lamb with a kick. And it's a good job Hanley has gone over there, because he's the man who collects this.
The right winger, virtually everybody moved to the other side of the play the ball, looking for the ball. They're all points drunk now, aren't they? They all want to try.
Chamberlain, welcome return for him to the Leigh Sports Village. Lamb, they're looking for more. They're desperate for more here. There's magic in the air at the Leigh Sports Village. They want to milk it for all they can. Now they're going to get another here. Defending is good. Just held up. Go back 10 and start again. There's just a vibrancy about this place. It really is. But as we keep saying, those Salford fans are providing half the fuel for the fire. They really are. Moylan with a kick over the top. And a good palm away from danger.
Dion Cross was all over the place then, wasn't he? He was spinning around, hasn't an awareness of where the try line, the touch line. He just thinks, let's just get this ball out of play. The contest from Hanley makes it too difficult for Dion Cross.
So another set for Leigh to have a go. Starting point, 10 away. Only needing a bit of treatment, as you saw.
Mystic Dave, who's scoring now. You got the other one right.
I think I'll cut my lasses and stop there. Trapp drives it in. He's not scoring.
Release him now.
Salford defenders.
Off in, Brad.
Swung left to Lamb. Lamb away. And here's Josh Charlie for a hat-trick. Bumps his way over and scores.
On what?
Hang on.
So you've got no time.
Oh, he doesn't look confident when he gets up. most of the time
Sam off.
the player will tell you.
Mate, we are on tackle 1. We have no try.
No try.
Can you confirm Charlie does go touching goal before he grounds the ball, please, Ben?
As we heard. So let's hear from the video referee.
Live call on field is no try, and we're just going to see if Charlie does stay in the field of play. He's still got possession of the ball at that point. He still has. And if we just go back on that, you can clearly see the ball is grounded on the touch in goal line. Thank you. I have now made my decision.
Well, it ain't going to be the hat-trick, but he's already got 300 tries, so you can't be too greedy, can you, on a night like this? You can see how close he was. And again, the technical boos from the Leigh fans.
A little bit of something for Salford to hold on to hang on. You've got to have pride in your line.
Okay.
He knows Josh Charlie could have got that right. Leans into the defenders, doesn't he? Leans in, tries to bump off Ethan Ryan, who probably just sticks an arm out and knocks the ball out of the grasp.
Bodies in motion there in defence, weren't there? And here, Salford have a penalty. Sneed will find touch. So Salford looking to launch an attack here.
Back up, boys, please, on the foot. Wait.
Contest over.
No.
Pride, though, still to be salvaged. And Singleton will try to burst through Trout's efforts. Trout who wins the day. To Sneed, and now Briley, and here comes Lafay with a step back on the inside. He's creating something out of absolutely nothing. He had Matt Moylan chasing shadows, and an individual try that's as good as anything else we've seen here tonight, albeit in a probable losing cause. But that is something for those Salford fans who've been in fantastic voice for most of this half, despite being on the wrong end of the scoreline. Something else to raise the volume of that.
And you can see from the shots of those fans, they appreciate the effort that Tim Lafay puts in. He's too big and too strong, ball in one hand. He's got the danger of the offload. He can break tackles, get rid of defenders. And Salford won't mess about here. Mark Sneed will just try and slot it over as quick as possible.
Well done, well done. Yeah.
5.5 to go. Famous kicking tee that his kids decorate. Sneed with the first
1 minute mark.
Attempted goal of this half. Left-footed, he's hit the post, and it bounces in. So 40 points to 12 with 5 minutes to go.
Tim Lafay and Nene McDonald, two impressive performers all season for Salford. You can see he has the ball, he's rolling it, threatening to offload. That's the reason the attention defensively just drifts off the big man. Zach Hardaker loses his feet, ends up on the floor, and then as he comes in, Matt Moylan, he doesn't know whether the offload's coming or not. That's a great individual try. Won't mask how disappointed Salford as a group will be.
I suspect that might feature in Leigh's video look back on Monday morning in terms of defence. It wasn't the best of defence, was it?
Well, teams, players, coaches are greedy, don't they? They want both sides of the ball. They want fantastic attack, but commitment in defence.
Sorry, mate, you're quicker than me.
You know, cast your mind back before the game. Salford were the favourites going into this match.
Discipline.
Or can they get themselves back on the score sheet again here? 5 minutes to go. It's been a high old night at the Leigh Sports Village. It's been a fantastically entertaining game, especially for those Leigh fans, but both sides have produced some moments of magic, but there's also been some scruffiness like that as well, especially from Salford.
Yeah, they just haven't been on the mark, have they? 4 tries for the Leopards in the second half, but they've been out of the top draw, those tries. the highlight of the whole game was Josh Charnley's try, that long-range effort. But as I said, those 1, 6, 7, 9 players for Leigh Leopards have outplayed their opposition, and that's the reason the scoreboard looks as it does.
Well, again, they don't look the happiest bunch, do they? But
Okay, now.
you do wonder what would make coaches smile if nights like this don't. But I suppose it's good to keep a cap on your emotions.
Even if it's 100-0, because they talk about that 0, even if it's 100-0, they'll always find something, coaches.
6 more tackles to go. Hardacre getting himself involved here. Dwyer's up there at dummy half, lining up on that left-hand side with a bit of intent again. Lamb loves to prosper over there, Charnley likewise, but he's pulled down. Dwyer's back in, so they move towards the middle. Salford's defence keeping itself honest. 3 tackles to go here. Dwyer spinning it out. McNamara, Moylan looking back towards the middle, and here's Hughes. Hughes putting a bit of footwork on. He fancies getting himself through as well, but
he's just a couple of metres away, Luttelli then. That pass was on.
Dwyer looked left, came right, pass not the best, ball goes to ground. Salford have it back again.
Brad Dwyer puts it in the path of 2 players. Neither one of them was committed to catch it, but as I said, Jack Hughes had the ball, the offload was there. Ricky Luttelli just half a pace off.
St Helens motoring to a victory there. Looked a little harder than that at half-time, didn't it? I think it was only 8-4 at that stage, but if that was the case, 40 unanswered points. Both sides have had players sent off in that game as well, to remind you. Sneed looking right. Going much further here, 5 gone. Last play in this set for Salford. They're going to search that blind side, and Watkins, who played a part in, again, one of the tries tonight, but no way forward from him in that cluster of Leigh defenders.
There has been some outstanding offensive play. The attack, particularly for Leigh, but glimpses from Salford. Over 8,000 fans in the Leigh Sports Village making a real racket. It's been a wonderful game in terms of atmosphere.
2 minutes ago.
Release now! Wait here, no.
Shaky start to the season for the Leigh Leopards. Big win against Catalan a couple of weeks ago. Draw against Castleford last week, which they might look back on and rue later in the year. But they will look back on this with tremendous happiness, the way they've played tonight and the way they have put Salford to the sword. Louis Dodd, who's on his way to the NRL, is the latest St Helens scorer. They've passed the 50 mark, by the way. McNamara, Moylan, a little bit of a mistiming in the run, but Myla Hanley picks it up, but having seen the ball go forward. So Salford get it back here into the last minute.
Well, that pass just drifts forward from Leigh. Matt Moylan, that does not detract from the game he's had. For me, the best player on the field, Matt Moylan. That's why he's the Betfred player of the match this evening. But there has been big contributions from virtually everybody in a Leigh shirt. Terrific player, Matt Moylan.
Let's get him, Matt. Let's get him, Matt. Let's get him. Head down. Shot clock off. Head in, kid. Can't do that, mate. Huh? Can't do that. You're not back in. Not back in the scrum. He's just
Scrummed out. Is not the cleanest, and a word out of order sees Salford marched another 10, but there's only 4 seconds to go. The hooter sounds. We've still got a penalty here, still got a penalty, so there's still a play. Is there an ambition for Leigh to go for another, or do they simply tap it and kick it out of play? Let's have a look. They've enjoyed the night so far. Hardacre will just take it in and take a simple tackle. We started the night with the sun in our eyes. That has provoked a dazzling performance from the Leigh Leopards. And is this the dawn of their big charge for the top 6 at the end of the year? Lots and lots to go before we know the answer to that last question. But Adrian Lamb tonight, very, very happy with what he's seen, Barry.
In attack, 7 tries. Some absolute beauties to select from those 7 tries. They've made mistakes, they haven't been perfect, but for Paul Rowley, a lot of harsh lessons here. He won't be too hard on his players individually, but collectively they were way off and well beaten by the Leigh Leopards.
Big smiles for Josh Charlie well.
Yeah.
300 tries to his name. A little bit of history for him tonight, and he'll be well aware of that. He's also closing in on that Super League top try scorer record as well. Not a night for Salford, not by a long way. Congratulations from both these sets of players who've been on the battlefront against each other for the last couple of hours. But it is Leigh who went through. What a sparkling performance from them tonight. We'll have interviews, we'll be looking back at some of those highlights as well. Coming up very shortly. Well, welcome back. Wow, we've been entertained, haven't we, on the opening 2 nights of round 11 of the Betfred Super League, especially tonight. Leigh putting on a show, but there's more to come tomorrow. Head-to-head, 2 matches, Huddersfield against Wigan, 2:55 on Sky Sports Arena, and main event. Then at 5 o'clock, Catalan against Leeds in Perpignan, and on Sunday, 2 sides desperate for a win. London Broncos against Hull FC. That's on air, 2:55, Sky Sports Mix and Sky Sports Action. So let's just remind ourselves of the hard facts of what we've seen here tonight. Leigh runaway winners at the end, 16-6 they led at half-time, 40 points to 12 it's finished. Hanley with a couple, Charlie with a couple, and most significantly second, giving him his 300th career try. But the player of the match tonight, as chosen by Barry, is Matt Moylan, who's with us now. Matt, congratulations first of all. That was a heady night, wasn't it? How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. I think we were able to put ourselves in a good position last week and let a result slip, so it's good to bounce back and finish off the second half. We have had a couple of games going in the second half this year, so it's good to put a side to the sword and probably play out that full 80 minutes and come away with a good result heading into obviously a weekend off next week with the Challenge Cup.
Fantastic atmosphere in here. I mean, we have to pay credit to the Salford fans because they played a very big part in that.
Yeah, but it's good. I'm getting pizzled down here at the moment. Down here, so
apologies for that.
It's good. It's obviously the crowds are a big part of creating the atmosphere over here and really enjoying playing in front of the fans.
You've got this momentum working up now. That's 3 unbeaten. Draw last week, but wins against Catalan and Salford either side of that. You've got 5 on the road now. I mean, what kind of problems does that cause?
Yeah, I think obviously you're going to have to play away games. It's not ideal to have 5 back-to-back, but we just got to do our best to get in and work hard at training and go out on the weekend and keep building off a performance like tonight. If we can keep defending the way we were tonight and playing the way we think we can with the ball and we're tidy there, we feel like we'll be in games all the time, and hopefully we can come away with more wins than not.
Well, we'll let you escape because what the viewers can't see is all the Salford fans barracking you. Yeah, so we'll get you out of the limelight. We'll bring Adrian Lamb, your coach, in just a second. But
good night. Thank you.
Congratulations tonight, Matt. Well done. Brilliant to hear from him, and there are Salford fans down there. This is the stats of the night, by the way. 60% possession, 85% completed sets from Leigh. Look at the yardage difference there, the meterage difference, 1,185 to 759. And Salford obviously having to make a lot more tackles as a result of that. I think that Adrian Lamb is now in the firing line of those Salford fans. Adrian, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I've got you here, yep.
Good.
Perfect.
Well, brave man to take on those Salford fans who are down there.
No, they're all kids, they're all having a good time. That's what rugby league's all about.
Oh, so. Great, smashing. I mean, how proud of you with that performance tonight?
Yeah, very proud. Obviously, it's been a pretty difficult week in different circumstances, but I think the last probably 6 weeks of our performances have been like that, but just we haven't been able to finish the game. But we did that tonight. I saw a connected team there that cared about each other and that wanted it more than the opposition.
A word for Josh Charlie, 2 tries tonight. The second of those is 300th career try. I mean, what a valuable asset he is for you at the moment, and what a great player he's been.
Yeah, it's just credit to him and his career and what he's done, and probably could have got another one there too with a 50-51 on the line. So obviously it's important to us that he finishes those moments, and that's what ticks the scoreboard over. So you know, we're all proud of Josh and what he's done, and what a milestone to get 300 tries tonight.
Adrian, it's Barry. We've been drooling over the skill and the speed of those outside backs, but how pleased we are you to bring Rob Mulhern back into the starting lineup. And of course, Rob Mulhern, Tom Amon and Edwin Apapa really setting the platform early in the game.
Yeah, I think that's the second time this year that we've had that front row start for us, which is indication of you know, the injuries that we've had. So it helps that they're all there, connected as a group, and you know, just his presence, I think, today and that experience, you could see the way that him and Tommy, and even now I've just gone blank in the head there for a second, but Owen Trout, the way that he's developed too. So I'm just pleased that we had an opportunity to move the ball. We've attacked really well, but haven't really ticked the scoreboard over, but we did tonight.
Adrian, thanks very much. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks, guys.
You've got a bit of momentum building now. We'll wait and see if you can make the 6. Brilliant stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Adrian Mann there, the Leigh head coach. And as Adrian disappears, I think we're going to be hearing from the Salford head coach, Paul Rowley, in just a moment, who's putting the headphones on. Paul, I hope you can hear us. One of those nights tonight?
Well, yeah, you've got to pay credit to Leigh. They was very good, they were very aggressive, and I thought it's a simple game. I watched the game last night, Ulcar and Warrington, and I felt it was a bit similar there, that I thought Warrington just played at a different tempo, a different pace. They won the ruck, and actually we spoke about some lessons from last night in taking to our game, and but it was Leigh that took the lessons from it. They controlled the ruck speed, both attack and defence, and ultimately they played a much simpler, much tougher game, and they were very good, so pay credit to Leigh.
You get a week off because of the Challenge Cup, but then 3 of the next 4, Wigan at home, Warrington away, St Helens at home. You've got a chance to bounce back in style here now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, that's an optimistic viewpoint there, Woodsy, so and that's what we do as well. So yeah, we'll have a rest and regroup, and hopefully get a few troops back, and then we'll go into this next stage and take everything on.
7 out of 11 wins. Would you have settled for that at the start of the year?
Yeah, I would, but at this point, no, I wouldn't, because we'll look back and, as you always do, with a few, what you'd call, you know, some near misses in there, or some opportunities we didn't quite take. But yeah, like you say, at the beginning of the year, I would have taken it, but yeah, it's kind of it's not how it works, is it? We just go week by week, and obviously we've just come off the back of a loss, and a big loss as well. So I've been well beaten tonight off a team that's played extremely well. So we respect that, and but we'll as always.
Paul, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate that. Paul Rowley, the Salford head coach, 7 out of 11. I mean, just putting a positive spin on there, as Paul said, 7 out of 11. When you look at that Salford squad at the start of the year, I think most people would have settled for that, Salford fans, wouldn't they?
And they played some good stuff as well. We know that both of these squads, both of these clubs have skinny squads, so when it comes down to your first choice, your second choice, they really start to ask players to play out of position and ask them to do things that perhaps sometimes they're not capable of doing.
But Leigh's night tonight, let's not take away from Leigh tonight, and some wonderful action in that game.
As we say, when we're watching it, we're lucky to be live in the stadium sometimes. The highlight of the game was this Josh Charnley try just after half-time. Pins his ears back, and even though Ryan Briley, who's no slouch himself, tries as hard as he can to deny him right at the last metre or two, thinks he's done enough, but Josh Charnley celebrates that. 300 for that man. It was Leigh Leopards who scored again. I love this because it was interplay, and it wasn't an individual, it wasn't a run 80-metre try. It was instinct and ability, and ultimately the unselfish decision of Kai O'Donnell just to feed it back into Matt Davis. It was your man who got the next try, Brad Dwyer, Willow the Wisp, who doesn't always follow the script, shows it to right to a couple of late attackers who perhaps took the attention of some defenders from Salford. A poor attempt midfield by 1 or 2 big men. Matt Moylan, the schemer, the kidder, hides himself behind the post pad, gobbles up 40 metres before he's finally tackled. Brad Dwyer feeds Lamb, who goes in. Some tired defenders here, and when Salford go and they look at this, they'll be one or two embarrassed with what they've put in, but attacking wise, Leigh Leopards at a different tempo, a different pace, and even though the final word goes to Salford Red Devils, there is work to do. There is some conversations, and some honest ones at that, coming towards the players in the white shirt today.
Well, a 300th try tonight for Josh Charnley. Would have been great to have a chat with him at the end of the game, but Barry, of course, gave man of the match to Mike Moylan, so we didn't get that opportunity. But what a night tonight. Highfalutin stuff it really was. Warrington with a really good win against Hull KR last night. Had to work hard for that. St Helens 8-4 I think at one stage, but 52 unanswered points to beat. Cass 60 points to 4, and Leigh 40, Salford 12 still to come. Two magnificent matches tomorrow: Huddersfield against Wigan, Catalan against Leeds. 3 o'clock for the first and 5:30 for the second, both on Arena. And London against Hull KR rounds the weekend off at the 11th round of the Betfred on Sunday at 3 p.m. Right, the table, this is how it looks. It's still very tight. There's been some movers and shakers. St Helens are back top after their big win, and points difference now have gone above Warrington. Wigan dropped to third, but they could get themselves back level again. Huddersfield will have something to say about that tomorrow. Look how tight it is, and you cannot discount Leigh Leopards now from making a run. They've got to get this run together, but they've started 3 unbeaten now in their last 3 matches. Fabulous stuff. There's a triple header of NRL coming your way tomorrow as well. Set your alarm clocks early for that one. It all starts at 6 a.m. The Tigers against the Knights, followed by the Dragons against the Rabbitohs, and then the Storm against the Sharks. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy some fabulous NRL tomorrow. But there are 3 games in the Super League as well. Have a little bit of a get up and a walk around, and then sit back down again. Huddersfield against Wigan 2:55 on Arena and main event. Catalan and Leeds 5 o'clock. We're on air for that one on Arena. And London against Hull FC on Sunday afternoon at 2:55 on Sky Sports Mix and Sky Sports Action. Well, hope you've enjoyed it tonight, because it has been fabulous. Leigh's performance was superb. Charnley making his mark with his 300th try in his career, but so many Leigh players had reason to celebrate tonight with a big win, their biggest ever against Salford in the Super League. Salford will bounce back, I'm sure. From us all, very good evening to you.
Sky Sports, feel it all.